coached him in high school, Jack Eustice, a former national champion for Mankato State, and he's here tonight.
Well, this Minnesota kid was at Central Michigan first semester.
Here we go at 141 pounds. Luke Moffitt, last year's outstanding wrestler in the Big Ten, but struggling this year. He's a senior, 17-9 is his record versus Derek Phillips, the transfer Dan was talking about, who was at Central Michigan, who is 4-1. He's a senior. He's ranked 11th in the nation. Moffitt 20th.
Okay, this is a key match for the Hawks. And
for a lot of reasons.
Obviously, right. Obviously, they wanted to win that 33-pound match, but the pin at 25 actually gave them an extra victory. But they figured maybe a major decision there anyway they'd have. This match right here is going to really determine a lot about where this match is going. Minnesota, actually, Moffitt has 2 wins over Minnesota's wrestler at this weight class from before. This is a new wrestler that they have in there, and he's doing a great job for him.
There's the inside.
Oh, he didn't get it.
And he comes around.
He should have 2 there.
He's got 2 points, and he's right where he likes to be.
Well, he does, but this is where this guy likes to be, too. The rumor is on this guy, he's a scrambler from the mat, and I know that in an earlier match against Ohio State, they went round and round and round.
Right, get set. Here we see the takedown. Right now, as we look at the Minnesota group right there.
Cover. Are you saying, Dan, this may not be the last scoring that we see?
I don't think so, based on what we hear. There's
a
one.
Granby roll out for 1-point escape. And so, in other words, Moffitt's going to have to win it on the feet as well tonight.
I think that's where he needs to probably take it to him. You can see right there on his feet, the guy was a little bit off balance on a move that really wasn't that sharp.
No, it wasn't.
2-1 in favor of Luke Moffitt over Derek Phillips from Minnesota early on in the match. Minute 20 left in the first period.
You know, this is also tell a little bit about the Minnesota guy, just from the standpoint, this is probably one of the first big meets, you know, that in a way, and just probably looking up to Iowa wrestlers and so on and so forth. So, you know, there's a good shot. Didn't penetrate with it.
Like you're saying, his first trip to Carver Hawkeye, but you know, he's a transfer from Central Michigan, and the Central Michigan wrestler is rated like one of the top 3 or 4 guys in that weight class, and he came here just to get some playing time, so to speak, in his senior year, and I think the coaches like the fact that he's going to have a condensed season. Here's a replay on that inside trip.
Yeah, it was kind of high there, and both guys could have went either way, but actually Minnesota looked like he might have went to his back and did a good job of scrambling off there.
Pick up the action, gentlemen.
Third straight Minnesota wrestler that didn't start in this program that transferred in. We're also looking at one in Luke Moffitt. Luke Moffitt is a transfer from Estherville, Iowa Central Community College as well. He's a senior in the 2nd year in the varsity.
And I think that's a good rule. The guy could come into the mid part of the season, particularly in his last year, and not burn a year, just riding the pine, so to speak, when he has a chance of probably maybe becoming an All-American.
They're kind of feeling, they're feeling each other out here. There's not really a whole lot of action except for a couple of moves early. It's kind of interesting.
We're into the first period there. But Jim got an opportunity to talk to Luke Moffitt, and he asked him, what advice would you give to young and up-and-coming wrestlers?
Take down. Green.
Only advice I would say is just to work hard and, you know, never count yourself out. And if you have a bad day, you know, you can always bounce back and redeem yourself. So just to keep working hard, and you can achieve anything.
Well, Luke Moffitt's had a few bad days this year and struggling a little bit. Dan gave him advice. Here he's coming out. He's starting on the bottom here.
These guys both look like they know what they're doing here a little bit. But Minnesota's got a little leverage here on him. He needs to get off that leg. Moffitt needs to get off that leg.
Just need to explode. Oh, this is tough. This is Fladel here.
Well,
going to pop his head out.
I don't know. Oh, this is crazy.
Wow.
No points yet.
No points yet.
And should he be scoring back points?
Watch the cradle here.
Wow.
Oh, boy, that could be.
Wow, no points.
No points. It's wild.
Wow.
No back points. You got no back points.
Look at this.
Back.
Oh, my gosh, these guys are crazy.
And he gets 2 points. Reversal.
I don't think I'd want to get there again. Woo! I'll tell you what. Both guys looked like they had each other.
Imminent danger for both athletes in that position, and doing a nice job of Moffitt by just settling back and...
Wait.
Potentially dangerous. What's that about?
Red, you're going down.
And then you got to wonder how much that took out of the Minnesota athlete here.
Great action going on.
And the fact that
got his belt buckle turned to the mat, and once you got that turned to the mat, you got a chance he had some power in the move, and he did it.
he just slipped away from the chest a little bit.
And we'll see where shape comes into this. I mean, there's a lot of great action going on.
This guy's got some funk.
Score is 4-1. There you
He's
see
letting him go.
1. Okay.
4-2 now. You see the team score 6-3.
Phillips is coming out of his stance here a little bit. You can see
Minnesota
that.
looks a little...
yeah, a little peaked or a little flushed.
Yeah.
But Moffitt's got to take advantage of that here.
Good shot.
It's there.
Good shot.
This is not what you want to give up with 15 seconds left.
No.
And
look at this. This is where Moffitt's... No points, though.
Still got nothing.
Nobody stretched
But
it
if
out.
he gets 2, he can come around.
Well, he's really making Phillips work here.
He's got to keep the ankle.
Nobody's
right.
scoring here. Only about 3 or 4 seconds.
Wow.
Nobody's going to score. But
Great action. And we're going to end the second period.
Nothing.
It's that time of year again. Time for festival. March 1st through the 16th. Iowa Public Television will showcase extraordinary television and ask for your support. Tune in for special programming and an encore presentation of IPTV's Emmy-winning documentary about Cale Sanderson. It all happens March 1st to the 16th on statewide Iowa Public Television.
this match is far from over. I'm telling you, it's 4-2 right now. Moffitt's up. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's far from over.
It's a matter of who's got the funk left in them. I mean, that's from a conditioning standpoint. Warning on Iowa's Moffitt on top.
I'll tell you, he's not a popular guy here in the referee.
1 point escape. 1 point escape for Phillips.
Phillips got in on that lead leg pretty easy last time.
Yes, he did, but, you know, Phillips is a little bit tired here. He's had to exert more energy in this match. He comes at it, but Moffitt's going to have some opportunities to get some big points, so it's going to be a matter whether he's wrestling for himself here or wrestling for the team.
And the fact that the referee got that stalling call on him, now he can hit him for a stall. That would put it in overtime. So Moffitt's got to, you know, actually look for a takedown. Right there it is.
There you go.
If he's strong here, he's got to get. Moffitt. Oh, Moffitt, you got to have to move out of there, guys. This is unbelievable. There's takedown.
2 points.
Wow.
58 seconds left. And it did look like Phillips was tired, but it didn't look like Moffitt had enough to take advantage of it.
He's in the zone here. He's just working right through it.
Look at this. Oh, he's going to try to split or get a banana split on him. He's hanging on here. Okay, this is going to be some unbelievable. He's going to try to roll through here. And if he does, he's going
5-4, the lead for the Minnesota wrestler. And he has got 30 seconds. There's not going to be if Moffitt can get out.
Here, Moffitt's coming up. He's going to have to roll into the right, probably. He's going to have to probably roll into the right.
He's going to have to get the right hip down to be able to do that.
Oh, wow, what a break.
Wow.
What a break.
That was a break.
That ought to get him back on the side of the Iowa faithful.
Hammering him.
Crucial match. Crowd's getting into it. Here comes this right leg in, too. Just
Switch
right
away
leg.
from it. He's got to
Right
switch
leg.
away.
Right leg. Oh, he's hanging. That's definitely a stall. Oh, wow.
But you got to move away to try to make it look like he's stalling. Talking about Moffitt, he just can't hang back on
It should be 12 seconds.
If he
They cut up a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, they missed the time. Get over there.
Yep.
No. Hey.
The official would not let him do it.
Why not?
He just looked to him and said, go back to the chair.
Here we go.
There it is. Oh, he's not going to get up out of his lap. Minnesota's going to win this.
Minnesota does a great job of holding on the lap.
Wow.
Big win for Derek Phillips over Luke Moffitt. Ties up the meet score 6-6 for Minnesota.
He looked like he was the wrestler that was more flush, more tired. We saw that, but he just worked his way through it. That shows the mind over the body.
Hey, Jim, you make a great point because Luke Moffitt had the opportunity. He just couldn't power through it.
Right.
Well, here we go. Another big match in this big meet. Here we go. Ty Eustice, 149 pounds. You're looking at him. He's a freshman, 21-5 his record. He's 14th ranked. He's the brother of Luke Eustice, who just gave the Hawkeyes a big start 3 matches ago. But they need another Eustice to come through here in a big way against the defending national champion, Jared Lawrence, a senior, 21-2, and ranked second at 149 pounds. Tough hill to climb for the young Eustice.
Absolutely. But if he's going to take a step forward, here's the place to take a step forward, right here. With Mako out of the lineup and the team losing a close one at 141. They know Minnesota's heavily favored here. I think he lost a major last time. He needs to step it up and show him that he's a contender for the national championship. But Lawrence is a fine wrestler, but he has been beaten a few times this year. I believe by Arizona State's wrestler.
Lawrence is from Sandpoint, Idaho, and it was an NCAA champion last year, Big Ten champion the year before.
Wow.
Nice job of competing by Eustice there.
Oh, man.
Wow. Nice job of following through. Wow, by Lawrence.
Leg sweep.
Yeah.
2 points. There's Marty Morgan, and
Face me,
along with Coach Jay Robinson and
Mrs. Eustice.
Are you set?
there's you're right. Ty and Luke's mother looking on from Blue Earth, Minnesota.
I think this is where Lawrence is really tough in the top position. He's got an opportunity to keep the freshman down. I think he'll try to wear him down as much as he can to make Eustice really use that left arm and upper shoulders. Try to wear him out in the top position.
Well, guys, we've seen a lot of action in the first 3 matches.
Yeah, this is a little bit different right here. That one guy's controlling the other guy.
Well, Eustice did a nice job of competing on that spin around, and when he came up, when he came up, he just brought up his butt a little bit high and was so susceptible to that foot sweep. I mean, that's the kind of succession wrestling you're going to see from the national champion.
Let's go put him there. He's doing a good job of staying behind the arm, keeping the action going. And Eustice is kind of, it's not really hitting a lot of moves. He's just kind of trying to build his base.
Break,
so he's not really being able to put himself in a scoring situation.
There's that spin around the follow through.
And then right on the edge.
Minute 2 left in the first period. Already a minute 01 riding time for Jared Lawrence and a 2-0 lead.
Lawrence stops his first move, comes to the hips, and then comes immediately up to the upper body and just starts harassing you. And the operative position here is he's got the elbow out and the wrist in, and when that happens, you're really in a weak position. Notice how he tries to continue to keep the elbow out. Not going to get awarded for that, but with 47 seconds left, you let him up or you just keep on riding him like that.
And I
think you keep riding him.
She's saying, get after it, son. Mona Eustice.
If you have to keep riding him parallel, I guess you got to let him go.
If you're just joining us, we're in the 4th match of the big meet between Minnesota and Iowa. The first 3 have been barn burners. Luke Eustice getting the Hawkeyes off to a big, there's a warning on the Iowa wrestlers. As I was saying, Luke Eustice goes out big with a pin over Bobby Lowe, but then Cliff Moore and Luke Moffitt for Iowa drop decisions, close decisions to Ryan Lewis and Derek Phillips of Minnesota, and the team score is 6-6.
Where you see the referee telling both men to open up, but it's a little tough to open up when you're bottom man, you're giving up that wrist ride.
Wow, he's throwing some.
I don't know what that double stall call just bugs me.
Yeah.
He just showed.
Well, it's a Dillman. He would never do that. I know this guy. He's a national referee. He would never do that
in the NCAA tournament. And
but he's here to keep the action going. Deep waist, near wrist. It's almost.
Bottom man, you roll. Reset.
Well, we didn't hear from him until the action slowed down.
Set it back to 6 seconds. Set. Cover.
And we're down to the end of the first period. The score 3-1 in favor of Minnesota's Lawrence. And we talked to Lawrence, who is from Idaho, about this rivalry, asking him, coming as far away as Idaho, tell us what this border brawl means to you.
Choice, you read?
When you hear about college wrestling right now, anyway, what you hear of is you got three powerhouse teams, which is Minnesota, Iowa, and Oklahoma State. And you know about the rivalry between that, you know, from a far distance. So when I came up through high school, I wanted to be part of it. That rivalry is what makes people better.
Well, and Jared Lawrence keeps getting better, defending national champion. He gets away for an escape to begin the second period.
And here's where that tough riding that he was doing in the end of the first period should pay off. It's got Ty Eustice basically taking the outside tie. His elbows are getting a little bit high. Shots might be there.
Whoa.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that Jared Lawrence can move.
Well, I tell you, he's going to get hit for stalling just because he's moving at a higher pace. If Eustice wants to get in this match, he's going to have to start picking up his foot speed. There's his father.
There's his dad,
Coach.
Jack.
He's got to start picking up his pace a little bit, because otherwise they're going to hit him for stalling. It's going to take him out of it. It's his match speed's what's beating him there. Even on the bottom, match speed, he was building his base. He's got to explode with offense. And the other guy's doing all the moves. So
Well, you're right, but the official has stopped his approach to the match here. He stopped his approach midway through the match.
There he hit it. There he hit it.
Iowa's wrestler Ty Eustice gets a warning for stalling. That is a penalty point. In fact, Lawrence has been warned himself for stalling from that riding too parallel. But now he's forcing the action on Ty Eustice.
Yeah,
Open up, gentlemen.
Just a matter of intensity here, and Lawrence is controlling the tempo of the match so far. Eustice is really probably a very tough athlete. He's just a little bit...
Good technique.
Senior versus a freshman
Yeah, that's
here.
kind of what
It's
it
a
is.
lot to ask for a freshman to come out there and battle hard in every position, and he's getting a feel for it. And let's see if he can pick up something in the next 2 minutes here to get some confidence.
Lawrence has been in the lineup all 4 years, I believe, and he's probably been on right where Ty Eustice is. And here we come to the end of the second period. Score 7-1 in favor of Lawrence. A reminder that today at intermission, we'll show you our college wrestling schedule for this season. Plus, we'll give you our webpage address and let you know about some of the ways you can interact with us on the World Wide Web. Plan to watch today at intermission.
You going optional start, top man? When you get set, we're going optional. Get set. Covering.
Here you see Lawrence is going to go with the optional start. He's going to try to get the major decision.
Escape. Green.
Lawrence is just tough. I mean, he's just putting the pressure. He's just keeping the action going.
Well, Dan mentioned it before, his foot speed.
And he's like, he's reacting. He's just reacting to Lawrence the whole time. He's got to get Lawrence on the defense a little. Especially when you're down 7-2.
7-2 with a lot of riding time, so you're effectively down 6 points and on the verge of getting major decisions.
And look what Lawrence is doing here. When he finds a position he doesn't like, he just goes straight to the ground with it, and that's really he harasses. There he goes, takes that elbow straight to the ground, clears away with his footwork, really keeps him off balance.
Minute 20 left in the match.
There he goes.
Just keeps
There it
his
is.
motion going. He's going to get the stall call. And I don't know if it's a one-pointer or the next one again.
Watch
All
it.
he needs another takedown or 2 points. Now Eustice, that was the first decent shot by Eustice. Now he's starting to wrestle a little bit.
We're going up. Let's go.
1 minute.
1 minute,
It's a real
1 second left.
key minute for Eustice right here, showing that he can contend.
Well, he's got the tie he wants right here. He got a collar tie off the elbow.
But you got to keep him going. He can't
Right.
just hold it. Now we're going to see what happens here. They're going to call him again. Oh, come on. Yeah.
And there's 2 points.
Yeah, that's a...
Well, you mentioned, Dan, it would be an important minute here for him, and I think he answered there with the takedown.
Yeah, he had a good whip over
Yeah.
there, but ended up with a takedown. But he also another stalling call. So
Ty Eustice just gets a takedown and does a lot towards not having a major decision against him by Jared Lawrence, who has
let him
been...
go.
Well, now all that's really needed is a takedown again by Jared Lawrence for that major decision. Minnesota's come storming back here after that first pin against them, and they're trying to win their 3rd match in a row to go out in front of the Hawkeyes before intermission.
Slip drag right there.
Or they're going to call him for 2. If he, if
Right.
Lawrence is real active, he'll lose the 2 points.
No, it'll be
There-
disqualification.
No, it'd be the 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So really made a shot. He needs another shot right here. Needs another shot. But
good
Lawrence staying on him. Lawrence staying on him. But
I don't see it giving him.
there's the end of the match. Jared Lawrence wins with riding time, 11-4. A
I don't know what he's
3-point
complaining about.
win for Minnesota's Lawrence. He wins it. Puts them out in front of the team 9-6. 9-6. That's 3 in a row. And we have one more match before intermission here. And that will be between the other defending national champion for Minnesota, Luke Becker, 18-2, also ranked second. He's a senior, versus Joe Johnston, a freshman, 23-11, 8th ranked in the nation. There you're looking at Luke Becker.
Pretty well put together athlete.
He's from Cambridge, Minnesota, Cambridge High School, won the national championship last year and the Big Ten championship at this weight, 157.
Now, you mentioned, Tim, when these athletes were freshmen. I remember when Luke Becker was a freshman, he was going up against T.J. Williams and made a good match out of it. You know, went out there and competed. Obviously, that's tough duty. Now he finds himself on the other end of it.
But you're right. He was on the other end. He was getting he was learning some lessons.
That's right. He was competing in those matches. I think he even took Williams down.
Almost beat him here in a dual meet one time, but Williams did school him pretty good that year in the Big Ten finals.
Right, but as a freshman, you know, now he's a national champion, returning national champion, just as Williams was, and going up against another freshman.
Joe Johnston's a young man that coaches think a lot of him. He just needs a break or two. A win over a national champ would be that break.
Yeah. And, you know, we saw him against Illinois execute tremendous takedown to beat Terapelli, a higher-ranked wrestler from Illinois. Now, all of a sudden, Joe Johnston, ranked 8th. He's from Prairie Village, Kansas, Shawnee Mission East High School, and I talked to him today, and he's liking the way he's wrestling.
Yeah, he's moving him pretty good there.
Did a nice job there. Moving the head and came into the underhook. Took some ground with it. That's the first time you've seen any of the athletes really take some ground.
This crowd's looking for a reason to get excited. You know, Joe Johnston may be that reason.
And it looks like Becker is just shooting exclusively to Johnston's left leg. So
Stalling on Becker.
There, the shot to Johnston's left leg. He showed that about 3 times. It hasn't come off it. And Johnston can continue to move into him, stalk into him, keep that leg back. He'll get the referee on the side.
There he is. Oh, man, nice hip. Wow. As far as Minnesota's Becker there, but what a nice shot by Johnston. What's
Wrestle
he need to
like
do?
it was the middle.
Not roll through. Doesn't need to let him step over either. Got to come back and start getting aggressive. Got to come back. Oh, boy, he's going to lose 2 here.
Just come up. Just come up.
He's going to lose 2. I tell you, he's got his head down.
Drop your head.
No. There's no points there. There's no points there. There's no points there. He needs to come up, pick it up in the air, though. He needs to pick it up in the air. Johnston needs to pick it up. Johnston needs to pick it up. That was a good call. That was a good call, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to get there again. I would not want to get there again. I'll keep my head in the middle next time.
Well, it was a good shot. He just wasn't able to cut the corner quick enough.
I'd give credit to Minnesota. He took that head out and yanked it out. Okay, it looked like Randy Lewis of old. Randy Lewis used to take that head and put it wherever he wanted to.
Well,
except when he wrestled you.
Randy Lewis is in the house. Randy
is?
Yeah, and he came in today to the wrestling room, and he said, I don't know whether I'm supposed to come here and coach today or wrestle heavyweight. And we said, well, you probably do both.
Player coach. The great Lubu.
Well, he's running that Culver's over there, and I tell you what, I stopped by there. 1 point to get me some food over there. Look at this. This is something. This crowd might get into this.
And Johnston is just marching into Becker right now. He's got him on the edge of the mat. Has the underhook.
Wow. Hey, I tell you. Look at Morgan. Morgan's giving him the 1 down. I tell you what, Morgan, I thought we started wrestling and Morgan gave me that.
There's the end of the first period. We talked to Becker, the defending champion. How is life different as the defending national champ?
Choice.
It's a little bit different. I mean, last year and the years past, I'd just gone out, to win my first title, and now that I've won one, I think you got a few, kind of a target on your back, so it makes it a little bit harder, but in all reality, I guess it's just the same thing going out and trying to win another title.
And the fans are ready to get into something here.
Well, the key here is whether Joe's going to be able to really just score on him or just try to push him around. If he just tries to push him around, he's going to get caught in something.
You said good call. Did Johnston choose on his feet there?
Right, he did, and I think the momentum is that way, and White changed the momentum right now.
Yeah, he'd been called for stalling twice. We're talking about the Minnesota defending champion, Luke Becker.
There's the shot to
there's
the left
key
leg.
right there.
Right there.
Well,
Settle
Johnston's
back.
got his... He's got it right a lot.
Yeah. It's tight. Go.
He's got to drive him over, though.
Got to get him.
He's got to get that right arm over. He's got to get that right arm over.
Wow, you got to be kidding me.
There it is. He played it. He called it. He's up for grabs. This place is up for grabs. He pinned the national champion. Wow. You gotta be kidding me. He pinned the national champion. Whoa. He never unbelievable. He pinned the national champion.
Wow.
Whoa.
We got to see that on the replay.
Wow, alive.
It's that Harbor Hawkeye magic. Here's the
Here it is. I said Johnston needed to do something for the crowd, and he did it. He locked it up. He didn't get it quite over. That right arm's the post, but he stayed in there. Becker did a great job of keeping him off his back, but Johnston did a better job of driving him over to his elbow, stacking him high. He's planting him right there, and he pins him right there.
That gets the Hawks out in front, 12-9 at intermission. This is a great, great meet. 12-9, we're at intermission. There's Joe Johnston, 8th ranked, pinning the defending national champion. And we'll be back 20-5, ranked 5th.
As quickly as Iowa pinned a couple golfers, I'll tell you what, this Diagata has not fared well lately. And, you know, he has a lot to prove, but Volkmann is a rider, and he's an armbar guy. So, you know, there's always threats from both sides here.
I said he's a shot. 5. He's 5-14. There's a shot by Diagata. Has to be pumped up by what Joe Johnston did before intermission.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Volkmann, a junior from Henning, Minnesota, Henning High School. And last year he was 2-2 at the 2002 NCAA Championships, was not an All-American, but he was an All-American as a freshman. He was 4th.
Here's where Diagata needs to clear that arm. That was a bad shot. Made a shot off the... Here's where Volkmann's pretty tough right here. Tough rider.
Diagata from Port Richey, Florida, Richwood High School. Then he went to Upper Iowa and transferred down to the Hawks from Upper Iowa and Fayette, Iowa. How's the meet going heading into this final 5 matches, do you think, Dan?
Well, it's been a little bit unpredictable, but, you know, it's one of these things that it's exciting for the crowd. You know, it's exciting for the viewers. But here again, Minnesota's in complete control. This double armbar, and I'll tell you,
wow. I mean, he just drove him right over. That's the way to get...
The thing I can't understand is they weigh in 3 guys.
There's the fall.
They weigh in 3 guys, and they always wrestle Diagata. I don't know why they...
well, there's...
why did they experiment a little bit?
6 points for Volkmann in the first period, and big win. You're looking right there, Josh McLay, the sophomore. 13-12 is his record. Here comes Tyler Nixt. Nixt is from Green, Iowa, Green High School, junior.
And the reason I say that is about who you wrestle out. Whoa, nice shot.
Talk about funk. And we know Tyler Nixt has some funk, so this will be interesting. Josh McLay. He's a sophomore.
Now, Diagata, you know, has had some matches that he was winning at Michigan State and got pinned right towards the end of the match. I mean, he was up by 3. So, you know, it's like, I don't know. They're trying to get him a break, but it's hard to get a break unless you can get into that mode. You know, you need to win somewhere. It's a big meet.
McLay is a sophomore from Hastings, Minnesota. He was a 3-time Minnesota State High School champion, breaking into the lineup this year.
This kid's a tough kid. Yeah, he pushed Nixt to the wire last time. It was a tough match last time, so this is not an automatic win for either team.
Improvement, gentlemen, let's go.
Scores 15-12. Minnesota over Iowa. We're at 174 pounds. 7th match of the evening.
Open up.
We've had 3 falls.
Open up, gentlemen, let's go. Get it going. Get it.
inside, get inside.
And you know, Dan, you were talking about the responsibility of the wrestler to get the crowd and all, but Tyler Nixt has that kind of talent. It's that kind of meet. Everybody needs to learn how to step up, and this is Tyler Nix's opportunity for Iowa, isn't it? I mean,
well, he knows absolutely he has to win this match for the Hawks to be able to be in this match. The way that basically because of the last match and a couple other situations. But I'll tell you, both guys, referees are, it's been double warning several times.
That's about the fourth double warning of the night, third or fourth. There's
wow. Whoa, he forced that one. And he's got two right there. That's when he's right. That's two right there.
There's two.
That came out of nowhere too, didn't it? He just looked like he shot it from the barn.
I mean, it's like he was listening to us saying, "I got to get something going." I mean, okay.
Okay. Let's listen.
Jay Robinson, Mark Schwab from Osage, Iowa, a longtime assistant to Jay Robinson. Four-time state champion.
It's a crucial 19 seconds.
Iowa.
Cover.
19 seconds left. See what Nixt can ride him out here.
Oh, that ankle slipped away from him.
Oh, he's dropping down, hanging on. So
there's a double warning, so you can't be hanging down.
Look at this. Look at this.
And he gives up the one, just like you said was crucial. 7 seconds left.
That was a good move by Minnesota.
1 point
keep
for
him in the
Minnesota.
match. Keeps him in the match. Crucial point.
Let's go to Jim Gibbons.
Thank you, Tim. I tell you what, when you pin the defending national champion, we're going to get to you no matter how long it takes here. Joe, your thoughts on your big match?
I think, it's a real big match, real big rivalry. From the team aspect, I'm just glad I could get the job done there. For me personally, it's something I got to believe in myself that I can do it no matter who it is. And, I think I'm proving it to myself all the time, bigger and bigger matches. So.
What were you doing in practice this week to prepare for tonight?
Just, working on staying in real good position when guys get on my legs, get my hips down and away, and really capitalizing off my defensive offense.
Good luck the rest of the way out. Good job tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Would you call that young man coachable, Dan?
The young man is very coachable. Very coachable.
See, coachable is not just listening. Coachable is the ability to take what you learn and turn it into successful action, and he just did that. I thought he also mentioned, I knew I had to do something for the team, so I'm very impressed with that performance. I have been impressed with Joe Johnston this season. 2-2 the score here. A couple of escapes for the Minnesota wrestler and started with a takedown for Tyler Nixt in the first period. Minnesota, some wrestler McLay, Josh McLay, chose down to begin the second period, and he got away. There's about 1:05 left in this second period. Scores 15-12 in favor of Minnesota over Iowa. We're in the 7th match, 174. Tim Johnson along with Dan Gable and Jim Gibbons here at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Well, the referee's actively involved, and I could see him getting involved again here if neither guy's doing a whole lot. Iowa's got the mat position here.
He's got the double underhook, and he's got to try to decide to do something with it. With McLay there at the edge of the mat, it's real difficult.
There he goes again.
Well, what do you think of that call, Dan?
Oh, it's not a call you see normally, but it's a good dual meet call. He's telling the guys, let's wrestle. Used to see a lot of those back in the old days, but we don't see them.
That's a Spike Israel, Vince Zuaro call from back in the late 70s and early 80s where you saw a lot of guys get stalled out. I hate it.
It just creates action by the guys, and they kind of get a little nervous, but it takes the tempo. I mean, it does something to the match that's good and bad.
Well, I don't think it has created much action here. And if you nail one guy for stalling, I think it would, because I think the referee, by calling it a double stall, cuts down in half his opportunity to affect the match without giving a point.
There's the end of the second period, and it's 3-3. College wrestling fans, March 16th, you'll have your chance to show your support for continuing wrestling coverage on IPTV. At 4 p.m., March 16th, Cale Sanderson, Portrait of a Champion, will air, and it will be your chance to pledge your support for wrestling programming. Wow. Tune in, then call in on March 16th at 4 p.m. And the wrestling community, you did such a great job last time of calling in when we had that pledge program for Iowa State. Do it again. Show your support for Iowa Public Television Wrestling. You're the best fans in the world. You showed it last time, and I'm just telling you, I'm just so excited about the opportunity for Iowa fans That's the fans of wrestling in this state to pledge their support to Iowa Public Television. 4-3 in favor of Iowa's Tyler Nixt.
Wow.
Wow.
This is a must match for the Hawkeyes here. This is a must match, and the next call could be a winning call for even for Minnesota, actually, if he got it at the end. There's a shot.
Scores 5-4 in favor of Nixt. Both wrestlers have been warned and have 2 one-point penalties in stalling.
Nixt is going to have to force a shot, I think. And sometimes when you force a shot, you get out of position. But last time it worked.
Yeah, it worked last time.
McLay has just given 2 shots in a row here.
Yeah.
Just like
He's got to have one now, yeah.
Nixt has to answer. Wow! Oh, no!
Oh, my
Whoa.
God. Bitch.
This is on me. This is on me. Are you all right?
Gee,
Oh, boy,
Christmas.
that's just
Holy shit, are you all right? I don't know if he's all right, but I'm not. Did you see that hit?
that was
Oh, my gosh. His neck's going to be sore.
absolutely. They get back
And
out
he
there.
hit hard,
to wrestle.
too.
That's one that you might want to take a little break from.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, if he isn't dazed, it's amazing. If he isn't dazed, it's amazing.
Well, Nixt is obviously, we've always been appreciative of his limberness out there, and he showed it with his neck this time by taking that blow straight on.
He better try to move a little bit, though. They're going to call him. The way the match is going here, he better do some aggressive wrestling right here. He better do some aggressive wrestling. He better do some aggressive wrestling. Look at that. I wouldn't let up on the edge there. I'd take him right from the match. If he gets out of here, take him right to the training room and put some ice on his neck. But I'll tell you what, the way the referee's calling, who knows what's going to happen
Yeah,
here.
he stepped forward. Great step forward on Nix's part there. I mean, he
Better not
eliminated.
act like he's hanging on. Look at this. Look at that. Good shot. We better.
They're
Wow.
in.
Did a good job.
And that's a win. Woo.
Well, that's a situation I think the Minnesota bench is going to take a look at. If you called that many stall calls and then 4 or 5 straight unanswered shots, really fortunate to get away with the win for Iowa there.
And that win knocks the 25-1. He was pinned in the All-Star meet, 25-1. The senior, ranked second. Matt Nagel, the freshman, 15-13. Well, we saw Smith have a big pin against Illinois. That repeat would be what the Hawks need tonight.
Could use a major, a pin, and whatever he can get here. He actually, I think, did beat him by major up in Minnesota earlier. Major or Tech, I'm not sure which.
Jessman Smith, a senior from Des Moines, Iowa, Southeast Polk High School. The All-American, placing 3rd last year at the NCAA Championships, and he has just looked awesome this year, but must not have looked as good in the All-Star meet.
Well, he got caught in a high crotch situation, got whipped over his back, and he acted like he was going to hang on instead of trying to stay off his back. And one of those things you kind of panic and you got a quick fall against him.
I just marvel at how much he's improved since his freshman year. You know, just remember seeing him out there several times against Cale Sanderson when he was a freshman, and he didn't look like he had his bearings out there, but his footwork is just vastly improved and gets shots off from all different angles, and I know he's done it the hard way just by hard work.
Definitely a good kid.
Improve it, improve it.
And you can tell this Minnesota wrestler
Warning on Minnesota, and there is Smith in on the hip, in on the leg. Nope, Minnesota wards it off, but I'll tell you what, I've not seen this many stalling calls in a long, long time. Jim Ramirez is definitely involved.
Well, in this case, it's really warranted here because Smith has been the aggressor through it, and what Nagel's just tried to do is just tie up the head, almost like you'd see in a Greco match.
Yeah, he's, you know, it's just one guy working a lot harder than the other guy.
Nagel's a freshman from Frazee, Minnesota, Frazee High School.
This is kind of similar to the last match they had up in Minnesota, where it took him a while to get to McLay, but once he got to him, he started scoring a lot. But it took him a while to get going, and he's taking him a while here as well.
You can tell that Nagel has some Greco experience with that head-hands defense.
Whoa,
wow, he came out of it. He did a good job.
Jessman let go of the leg there.
Well, he did. I don't know what he was thinking, but the guy's hanging on. He's going to call a stalemate here, it looks like.
Stalemate, let's go.
You know, how many times do you call that before you
Joe Williams.
call a stalling?
Well, we'll see here. Depends on how many shots he gets in. At least he's...
In on the single leg. Again for Smith.
Keep wrestling. Keep wrestling.
It's on the edge,
Keep
though.
wrestling.
And that's a classic example of wrestling it like you're in the middle. We talk about that all the time. Don't try to get to the edge. Just square the hips and put weight on Smith.
Makes Smith look good, but he's not putting many points on the scoreboard right now. It's 0-0. 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone.
0-0. 35 seconds left in the first period.
Wow.
There's the takedown for Smith.
That was the first offensive move Minnesota guy made, and kind of put him out of bad position. That's why maybe he kind of hangs out.
He just hung out with the collar tie, and then Smith was able to whip it over.
Watch that ankle. Watch that ankle. Watch that ankle. Watch that ankle.
Who's saying watch that ankle?
The referee's saying watch that ankle, but we're all watching it. We don't see anything wrong with it yet.
There's the end of the first period here with the score 2-0 in favor of Jessman Smith. And we asked Jessman, what are your keys to winning?
Just make sure I wrestle my match, which is being extremely aggressive, attacking, good hand fighting, staying where I'm best, and, doing my holds rather than allowing him to do his stuff. My best defense is my offense.
Talking about, Dan, isn't when you'd say if a grizzly bear came into the room, what would you do? You'd fight. And there's an article in the paper about helping, Luke Moffitt get out of his struggle, and sometimes people think too much and wrestle the way the other opponent does. Jessman says, I just take it to him. I fight.
He's got a clear definition of how he wants to win a match. So many times guys go out there, they don't have a clear definition of what he mentioned, hand fighting, staying aggressive, and
if he wants to get in the situation, that's where the other guy got pinned right there. Just to lock up the cradle there.
See if it's a team tendency.
Yeah. When do you start thinking about the major and the extra points and looking for a way to throw the man to the back, but piling up points?
Once you get a good lead, and if you can take advantage of anything.
Killing control, Green.
He's wasting some time here a little bit.
Stay on. Wait. Now, okay.
But the crowd's into it, and it's helping us.
There's Frank and Becky Smith, Jessman's parents.
Hit. Optional start. Covered.
Let's him go.
5-1, the score. Smith lets up.
Looks like he might have a headlock.
Nagel.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy, is that well set up.
Faked one way, came back the other.
Started up with a headlock.
Guy overreacted actually. Stood straight up and hit him right back.
Fake with the underhook here, and then foot switch, and then dropped back and came to the double leg. Made him think he was going with the upper body, and then just dropped back and hit the double. Beautiful.
Smart wrestling.
Whew. No back points yet, though. Well, if he's thinking tech, he's going to have to catch him on his back.
45 seconds left. Good opportunity here for him.
Really, Iowa's in a position they got to be thinking even more than tech. I mean, the falls are what you need in this position. Or the disqualification.
Yeah, disqualification might be better. The way it looks right here. The guy gave that up pretty easy right there, and that kind of indication that he's not really into the match right now. Got to take advantage, got to read the situation, and do what you can do to win by as many points as you possibly can from the team.
The way the official is calling the match, it's not a good time for Nagel to put the action, basically putting his head on the mat here. He's not wrestling.
And there is no tie in dual meets this year,
No,
right?
No tie.
Ten to 2, already the major now with another period left. That's the end of the second period. The score is 10-2 in favor of Judson Smith.
Down. Red.
Royce Alger, assistant coach, along with Tom Brand.
Get set.
On Sunday, February 16th at 3 p.m., the Tuskegee Airmen tells the story of the black American aviators who opened the field of aviation to African Americans. Then Tuesday at 6:30, Living in Iowa introduces viewers to the Tuskegee Airmen from Iowa.
It's going to be hard to penalize him when he makes those shots, though, because he's being the aggressive guy there. But, it depends on what he looks like here, but this is wasting quite a bit of time So, you know, I don't know. It looked like to me when he was getting close to getting back points, would be on his feet because he was shooting and whipping him around a little bit.
Yeah, you'd have to think that Nagel's just trying to keep
There's
him
an
getting...
armbar,
There's
though.
an armbar. You're right. And he's letting it slip down.
Doesn't look... You got too much... referee's right in there. Too much weight on that armbar side. Too much weight on the armbar side.
Maybe come to a half to the other side. You got a high elbow on the other side. The half
Right
is
there. Got the near wrist.
Gets the near wrist, he's okay. He gets the near wrist.
But he slipped down on the armbar there.
There he's getting it.
And there, and so now what's at 9?
The back points. Now you got to get the...
Oh, he's only going to get 2 back points.
Oh, he only got a 4 count?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. That's the same. There's no same hold there.
Yeah, he's got to let him go right now.
Yeah, it should be 2 there.
Makes it 14-3.
And 15-3, 12. He needs a 3-point near fall with riding time.
He ain't going to get him here. He's too flexible. Well,
A lot of yelling down there, but I think he's...
he's going to have to hustle. He's going to get the 5-pointer. Too much weight down.
Stalling, there's 2, or 1. So now he just needs, a 2-point.
He's got to turn the head more, a little bit more.
I think
he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time.
Got to go the other way. If he catches a high elbow here, he's got to go the other way.
He's going to have a hard time turning there.
Not going to get it done. Good job on the Minnesota wrestler there.
He took some pain.
Yes, he did.
Took one
With
for the
riding time, the score is 16-3. 4 points for the Hawkeyes, puts them out in front 19-15.
He got beat up there.
Yeah, took one for the team.
I don't think he's used to that kind of stuff back in high school. But he's wrestling a couple weight classes higher, I believe, than he normally.
Well, is this another step-up time?
Absolutely has to be a step-up time for Fulsaas.
Ryan Fulsaas coming up against Damion Hahn.
What Joe Johnston did, Ryan Fulsaas has to do to win this meet.
Yep.
And this match actually came down to a pretty close match in the national duels. It was, so we'll see what happens.
Here we go at 197, the 9th meet of the night. It's 19-15 for Iowa lead, but Steve Mocco not in the lineup against Garrett Lowney tonight, 7th-ranked heavyweight. So this is it, guys, as far as what Iowa is. There's Randy Fulsaas, his brother, twin brother, Ryan Fulsaas, Jr., 17-9, 15th ranked, going up against 8th-ranked Damion Hahn, a junior, who's 10-2.
I think Fulsaas, to stay in this match, has to make it a high-paced match.
Has to keep control a little bit of the ties there.
Right.
Has to wrestle his match, absolutely. Got to get Hahn kind of flustered a little bit and get him make a couple mistakes. Hahn is good when he wrestles a steady match, but you get Hahn out of his position like that, he stopped him a few times.
You need injury time? You need injury time or not?
Hahn is probably one of the better low ankle attackers in the game here at that these upper weight classes. He just really gets on that ankle.
Yeah.
Catches you walking into him.
Looked like he got a little stinger there. It wasn't too bad, otherwise he would have had to take some time out there, but man, it's amazing how you're not quite ready to go until you get in the match like that, because I'll tell you what, his neck really slipped back there.
Well, Fulsaas has had a couple of big wins here at Carver Hawkeye on Iowa Public Television, and Damion Hahn definitely the favorite here. He's ranked 8th in the nation against 15th ranked Fulsaas.
Well, if he gets a win here, this would be the biggest win. Definitely. Crucial time. All-American wrestler.
Easy with a hand.
And so far, Fulsaas doing a good job of hand fighting.
Hahn's a junior, like I said, from Lakewood, New Jersey. Highly sought recruit a few years ago. Last year, Big Ten champion at 184, moved up to 197. There's that low ankle you were talking about, Jim.
Going to reach across and double leg. Nice job of fighting it so far.
Nice job, and he's putting some weight down on
that's
top
going to make him scramble a little bit, but he's going to have to watch his knee so he don't pop his knee here.
Going to try to come out the back door.
If I was the referee, I'd watch that a little bit.
He's got it picked up.
The referee's not even looking at it. He's not even aware of this position.
I think I'd stop it.
Look at the ankle. That ankle being turned, too.
Look at this. Hey, now he's kind of...
Fulsaas has got to settle back.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. Hahn's still in pretty good position. He's making him fight. Yeah.
Continue to work.
As long as Fulsaas
keeps that ankle, keeps his head down. He's got to keep his head down, though. His head comes up. There, he's got to keep him right there.
Right.
There. He's got to get that knee out. He's got to get that knee out. That was a good job by Fulsaas. And as long as, I'll tell you what, that carries in the knee.
Minute two left in the first period. Scores 0-0.
Wow. Let's go on your feet.
There's Ryan Fulsaas' father.
I don't think that's the kind of stuff that wears and tears on the guy that has it offensively. Not getting good shots there. There's a decent shot, but he got his arm in a little too deep there on the left-hand side. You better pull that out a little bit.
Hahn, not much of a threat to pin. Hasn't had many in his career.
But he's got a lot of talent. Goes back a long ways.
I think Fulsaas has to go back to hand fighting. Just get up there and work the head like he was able to do in the first minute of the match.
It's a good shot. Missed it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, shots mean something tonight.
Keep wrestling, keep wrestling.
His hand's going to sleep or something. I think he's having a little trouble with that neck.
There's the end of the first period, and we asked Jay Robinson to talk about his program's success. There's Jay.
Well, I think it's important because they come in as role models, and usually, you know, a guy wins it, then he leaves, and you don't get no benefit from it. But this time you have two guys, and they're the center of the team. They're guys you kind of go-to boys that when you need points, when you need a win. So, and the other kids identify with them. You know, if Jared and Luke did this, then I can do this. So the belief factor grows at the same time.
Of course, he's talking about his two national champions, and that's certainly a big part of his program's success. Jared Lawrence and Luke Becker. And Becker, who got decked tonight by Joe Johnston. Well, here's an important time right now.
Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Uh-oh.
The ankle here's the key, though.
Yep.
Damion Hahn was able to drop to that ankle. It's real difficult for Fulsaas to make that switch.
Fulsaas started the second period.
This is the match. It's going to determine probably the victory for the one side or the other.
Why is that, Dan?
Well, because if Iowa wins it, Minnesota cannot win the dual meet.
But right here, as far as, is it because he's got to realize the urgency now? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, if he doesn't know the meet's coming down to this, it's not coming down to the heavyweights.
And it's not coming down to the last 30 seconds of the third period.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's your point.
Yeah.
It's now.
And he's got 46 seconds riding time.
Caution, green.
He hasn't warned anyone yet. We're talking about Jim Ramirez. There's twin brother Randy Fulsaas. But the official has not warned anyone in this match yet, which is unusual.
You set. Don't move. Cover him.
Tapped right down to that ankle. That's just a season move. He knew he only had to get 14 seconds. Nice job of scrambling, but he hangs on that ankle.
He's got to get that ankle free when he hits the switch. I'll tell you, he's going to get a minute riding time here. He's got a minute. This is not where you want to be when you have to win the dual meet. Spending much time in the bottom. Wears you out.
And, that's just the craftiness of Hahn staying right here on the edge of the mat.
Wrestling there too.
Green, you're going down.
You know, I think we're maybe unnecessarily being a little bit hard on Fulsaas because of the position of the meet and the magnitude of just only being down by, or being up by 4, being in a position to put it away. But I think he did a good job in that first period.
Oh my gosh!
Stay set. Second one. He's just getting on you. You're gonna have to stay set.
He's just getting a little flustered right now.
Get on. I'm telling you. So stay set.
Well, that's another thing. See.
Find a way to get out right here.
Well, he's leaving his legs behind when he does his move.
For a start. Listen for a delayed whistle. Get on him.
And when Hahn picks that ankle, he'll almost get his nose down there by that ankle. He really lowers it. See?
Hang on to that. See? Got to put the foot down. He's not putting the foot down. Hahn does a great job of being able to ride there and then come in with he's leaving that leg behind though.
Yep. And that switch isn't going to work in that situation because the guy's right down your legs and hips. Now explode.
He had it, but then he let him go back down. He was right where he needed to be. And if he comes up in a hurry here, he can be all right and get a reversal. He's got to scramble his legs away. He's got one. He's got two. He can get two here if he wants.
But Dan, that's exactly what he needed to do to get in this match, to create a scramble.
The crowd's got to get him going, I'll tell you that.
He's going to win this match. He'll have to win it on his feet anyway, but
I tell you, I wouldn't waste this 11 seconds. I would have tried to actually score here because, and he attempted, but I don't know if it was a wholehearted attempt. You know, you got to score when they least likely think you're going to shoot.
Well, that's the end of the second period. During our coverage of the Iowa State meet in December, we asked for your support of college wrestling, and you came through in a big way. If you want to make your voice heard again, we've reserved Sunday, March 16th at 4 p.m. as your time to show IPTV you care about wrestling programming with your pledge. This kind of wrestling program. This is the exciting stuff. Catch the Cale Sanderson documentary and call 1-800-779-7000. That's 1-800-779-7000 with your support. It doesn't get any better than this. I know that sounds like a cliche. It just doesn't. You know, there's power in truth.
That's right. Well, we'll see what he's made out of here. I'll tell you what, he's leaning a little bit too much. He's given up too much head position to be able to set him up.
And Hahn knows he has to come after him.
Hahn's going to sneak one in on him unless he gets he should have had a goal behind there. I don't know what he's thinking.
Looking for the ankle pick after Hahn comes up, but made 2 straight attempts there. Keep taking territory here. He can get the referee on your side.
He's in on a single.
Yeah, but he's...
nice job of adjusting.
But Hahn's tough here. He's got to come up in the air with it. And I don't think
just take her off the
what
mat.
He's doing there. Didn't look like he knew what he was doing. But he got out of bounds, so that helped. Hahn looked like he was more of a corner cut guy. And the crowd realizes this is it. They don't have Mako coming out next. Mako's somewhere, but he's not here.
Well, this is certainly a tall order for Fulsaas to try to get a takedown here and a big win against a 2-time All-American. There's the... Oh, was it caught or was it grabbed? That could have been a break. You're looking for the breaks here.
He's got a... There it is. Oh, he did it right there. Oh, wow, what a job by...
Great spin around there by Hahn. Great job of defense.
We better not stop there. We've got to keep wrestling. Referee's giving us a break.
But he's taking territory. He's getting the crowd on his
looking
side.
a little tired. A little bit more than he was, but he can move quick. You see that spin? That was quick.
Remember, Hahn has riding time.
Yeah, that's okay. You got to remember, there's only 40 seconds, 35 seconds to go in the match here. Can't be wasting his time. I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, he just can't get through that hit.
There it is. Oh, wow. He gets wrestling. He keeps the heel. He keeps the heel. He lost the heel.
He's got his shoelaces flat. He got his shoelaces flat right there, and that stopped his momentum.
And it looks in trouble.
Oh, he does.
He's
got to break that.
He looks in trouble. He's going for a pin. He did it. He took the guts out of him. He did it. He went for it. It was a high-risk move, but it worked. Oh, my God. A high-risk move. Unbelievable. They win the duel. They win the duel. Unbelievable. He went for it. He went for it. Give him credit. He went for it.
He says, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down scrambling. And I tell you what a big answer today by Fulsaas. Unbelievable, Dan. Oh, man.
I'll tell you, here's the gentlemen.
That's a great replay. Showed the proactivity, the initiation of Fulsaas there, creating that. And here we got the heavyweight. Heavyweight is Paul Bradley for Iowa, stepping in for the #1 ranked undefeated Steve Mako, who has been suspended by Iowa for breaking a Big Ten sportsmanship rule at the Michigan State dual meet, going up against Garrett Lowney, a junior, 7th ranked, and top wrestler, bronze medalist in the Olympics.
And 3rd in the NCAAs, and probably a 2-time All-American. But Bradley's a normal 197 pounder this year, doing a good job of making a shot. A little bit outsized here. Probably would have challenged in at 84 this year, but with Jessman Smith there, he moved up and challenged at 97. But he's probably weighing close to 97. Lowney's, had a tough time. He had a shoulder surgery this year, and he's 7-4. But he's had some big wins, but he's had a few losses more than I think he's normally used to.
You're right. He's a 2-time All-American. He's from Freedom, Wisconsin, Freedom High School. He's a Big Ten champion a couple of years ago.
Open up, gentlemen. Open up.
Quite an athlete in high school, and he was running back with lots and lots of yards, all-state, and real solid athlete. Garrett Lowney, a junior. Paul Bradley's a freshman from Tama, South Tama High School, redshirted last year. He was a state champion as a senior after placing second as a sophomore and junior.
Well, I'll tell you what, unless Iowa loses next team point and we get pinned or something, you know, I mean,
You got 2.
I didn't like the way he bailed out there.
Nice move, and
But it was a good shot by Lowney.
Good shot by
Set
Lowney.
the angle up, and he was in position, but you notice Bradley kind of turned and bailed out, and that's a position that he's going to have to learn.
And
to,
it doesn't look like he has to. I mean, you know,
No,
there's a lot of respect here for Lowney and the whole bit. But, I mean...
he's not that much big, you know, Lowney's not a big heavyweight.
Right.
He's a 213-pounder internationally, and he just doesn't look like he's as big as he normally has been.
If you're just tuning in, it's been one of the great meets
Are you set?
in a long
Cover,
time on
top man.
Iowa Public Television. Number 2 ranked Iowa versus number 3 ranked Minnesota. And Iowa getting some tremendous wins from unlikely wrestlers to be in a position to win this meet. We're in the last match at heavyweight between Garrett Lowney and Paul Bradley. Score is Iowa 22, Minnesota 15, and of course if Minnesota even gets a fall, that's 6 points, makes it 22-21. But there's always, you know, there's penalty points against the team and things like that. You can't. It's not over until it's over.
Bradley needs to get 1 point to get the crowd into it here. He keeps getting locked up in a cradle. Keeps getting his head and his knee together when he's coming up. He's doing a good job, but once he gets there, just sprawling out there and taking the riding time against him, which riding time is over a minute right now.
Now, do you think, well, first of all, let's go to Jim Gibbons. That's the end of the first. Let's go to Jim.
Thank you, Tim. I'm with one of the many men of the hour here right now, Ryan Fulsaas, and what a great job you did here coming back from with Damion Hahn there. What were you thinking here in that last minute?
I think the same way for the whole 7 minutes. Got to go, go, go. We don't do all this hard training just to wrestle a half-ass match. You're there to wrestle the whole time. And, you know, sometimes you don't feel good. You got a stomachache, your legs hurt. You got to step it up and got to keep plugging away and keep on working hard. The dividends will show. Eventually you'll go for you and win.
Well, there's nothing halfway about your performance tonight. Congratulations.
Well, I think so, Tim.
Thank you.
I didn't score enough.
Thank you, Jim. There's an escape for Bradley. And Dan, you said something once. I think it might have been on the Cale Sanderson documentary. You said once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easier. I think that's what Fulsaas was saying there. Do you think that things aren't going to be easier on the things he's learning in this sport?
Gosh, guys, he's had some tough times here, you know, and this was one of the highlights. But you know, and it could have been not a real good situation for him. So he turned it around. But because of these situations previously, he's able to turn things around and make highlights. So he'll be one of these guys that he'll be great off the mat as he goes on in the professional world.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, is there anything that's going to get you down? I mean, the foundation that's...
well, I'll tell you what. Whatever gets you down, you're going to be able to come back.
You get back up.
You're going to come back, and you're going to handle it better than most. You know, I say that. You know, I say that about that wrestling. Look at that shot. Nice shot, but he...
We're going up.
3-0. 3-0 is the score. 52 seconds left in the second period.
I also say that wrestling's not for everybody. I say that quite often, but then I come back and say right after that, but it should be. You know, it's just because of the values, you know, and what it teaches you. Because there's so many things you have to do to master to be successful day in and day out. And then there's also just the idea of how you have to train. So it's a great sport for life.
My son wrestled this year for the first time in 6th grade. I said, why do you want to, Jimmy? And he said, because, Dad, you told me that I'd be tougher in everything I do if I wrestle. I said, that's a pretty darn good reason to wrestle.
Go, guys. Let's go. Open up.
We have seen some toughness today.
Both guys,
and wouldn't you say, Jim?
I'd say we've seen some toughness, and guys, you know, that
Break. Twice.
We had an interview with Bradley.
What do you want to do?
I actually found out yesterday, and it's pretty exciting, you know. I mean, it's an unfortunate incident with Steve and Coach Zaleski, but I just want to go out there and do my best and hopefully perform for the team.
were talking about the opportunity to step in. And does he and Steve Mocco go every day?
Well, not every day, but I'll tell you what, he'll team up with a couple other guys and take on Steve Mocco.
There you go.
I'll tell you what. And he helps out a lot. He's willing to do that. I'm telling you, he has to take some punishment, too. So, he's doing a pretty good job here. I'll tell you, if the team had to keep from getting a major, he's doing a pretty good job. But the thing is, that's not what you go out there for ever. He's actually, been in this match pretty good, except for a few situations. And I think it's important for Paul to compete this whole match.
Well, if he's been working with Mocco, he's been showing that he's pretty good at getting back to his base from his stomach and competing in there. I mean, that's just one part of it.
He's trying to get out there by keep putting his knee up by his head, but here he's coming up this way. He needs to get out of there. But there's a good move, but he goes out of bounds.
Bring down.
Hey, we were talking about tough guys and competing, but we've got to watch on public television over the last 3 years a guy like Ryan Fulsaas, who probably didn't necessarily belong in the lineup maybe in the beginning, but we saw that evolution that you'd normally see in a wrestling room out there in front of the statewide audience, and what a great win for that guy.
Well, he's had to walk away on TV in a very embarrassing situations lots of times, I mean, that's just part of it, and it's just fun to see the reward,
Hey, he had to go back home all summer, go to Decorah, and he was a state champion in high school, and now some people may not think he's as tough as he was, now to come out here in a big meet, it's going to be a different deal in the summer in Decorah.
Of course, Iowa Public Television covers a lot of the Iowa wrestlers from the time they're freshmen in high school, and we saw the Fulsaas brothers in the Iowa High School Championships wrestle and win championships. Tough match.
Well, guys, it looks like it's getting down to the final 20 seconds, and Bradley's held his own here.
4-2, riding time in favor of Lowney, but 3 points is only going to bring it closer for Minnesota. It's 22-15, and looks like Minnesota's going to fall short, and Iowa's going to win here at Carver Hawkeye.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge win for the Hawks, considering that they just looked a little down at the beginning, but they had some big pins. I won't be joining you next week in this Iowa State-Oklahoma match either, so I'll probably be watching my daughter swim with the Iowa swim team over in Purdue, so you guys are going to have to do a great job.
Well, you get the swimmers a win, and we'll give you an Iowa work. There's Garrett Lowney, a win for Minnesota, makes the score 22-18. Once again, the final score is 22 for Iowa, 18 for Minnesota. And there you see the wrestlers. There's Tom Brand, assistant coach, stepping in for the suspended Jim Zaleski, who's watching just like you on Iowa Public Television tonight. But he'll be back on Sunday for the meet, senior night. There's the Hawkeyes from Minnesota. Dan, what'd you think of the meet?
Well, it got me out of my seat a few times. I was very impressed with both sides. I think both sides thought they could win, and obviously both sides probably could have had a chance to win. Things went certain ways, and it gave one team a little more momentum.
Started out, as we know, with Luke Eustice with the big fall. I mean, how do you beat that? But let's go to Jim Gibbons right now with the winning coach.
I'm here with Coach Tom Brands, and Coach, it was just a great dual meet. Probably one that's going to go down in Iowa history, but 3 in a row for the Gophers. You got to feel good about that.
Absolutely. 5-5 individual matches. Bonus points wins it. This one's for the boss.
And you did it without Steve Mocco, and the guys really stepped it up tonight.
That's right. We had the clamps on them a couple places. We put them on their back, and we didn't let them off. And that's a big difference.
All right, well, congratulations on the exciting meet, and good luck the rest of the way out in Big Tens and Nationals.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Dan, does Tom have any passion?
Tom is unreal. I mean, that guy, when he talks, it's coming out. It's coming out from inside. I'll tell you what, he's quite an amazing man, and I'll tell you, he's representing the Hawks there pretty good, and he gave Zaleski a lot of credit. So, and I tell you, that was a good win for Iowa, and I'll tell you, Minnesota is still a team that has a chance for the national championship, as, of course, Iowa and Oklahoma State as leading the way.
And let's go to Jim, who's with Jay Robinson.
I'm here, Tim, with Jay Robinson, the coach of the Minnesota Gophers, and Coach, is another great show tonight. I've been there in your shoes here, having the national champions upset and all that stuff, but give us your thoughts on the match tonight.
Well, I mean, you just can't have one of your national championship, your champions pinned, I mean, that kind of throws things off. But then we came back, but even in that Hahn's match, he had it. you know, and in one way, you got to say it's good. He went for the fall, you know, and it came up short.
Well, it's good theater for the Hawkeyes tonight.
Yeah, it was great for the Hawkeye fans. They should be pretty happy.
Well, congratulations for your season, and good luck the rest of the way out.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jay. And what do you think, Dan?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a competitor in Robinson. I'm telling you right now, he gave the fans here a lot of credit. He gave the Hawkeyes a lot of credit, but you could tell it hurt. I mean, it was hard on him. He wants to win, and he has won. He knows what it's like winning. I'll tell you, once you win like that, you can't accept a loss, and that's what he's doing right there.
Well, let's talk about it. We start at 125, big pin for Luke Eustice, and then Minnesota comes back, and they look so tough, 3 straight wins, and then Joe Johnston.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Luke Eustice, by taking the blame for Michigan State in that interview, just blew my mind. That, Zaleski setting out, Michael setting out, but Luke Eustice took the blame. I think that's great from a team effort. That shows something. But Joe Johnston was the key tonight. Joe Johnston locked up that national champion. But the thing was, he was out-wrestling him earlier. It wasn't like he just pinned him. He was out-wrestling. And so that made a huge win. Of course, Minnesota turned it around when they coming out second half, and they got a quick pin, and then it was a tough match at 74, and 84 was a major, and 97 really was the icing. Iowa had to win that one. And I'll tell you, it looked like Minnesota was going to win. And almost had me counted out, but nope, you never counted out.
Well, that's where we end it tonight. You never count it out. And because the Hawkeyes didn't count it out, they win 22-18 over the Minnesota Gophers. Once again, that final score is 22-18 for Iowa. Watch college wrestling on Iowa Public Television on Sunday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. for coverage of Oklahoma versus Iowa State. It should be another interesting matchup. Plan to watch. That's Sunday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. In the meantime, you can reach us on the World Wide Web at www.iptv.org/wrestling. That's www.iptv.org/wrestling. We hope you've enjoyed college wrestling tonight, and we hope you'll show your appreciation by making a financial pledge during Festival March 1 through 16. We just couldn't do it